Hi everyone, I'm Caroline with the Recreation North Training Program, and in this video I'd like to share a little bit more information with you about how to get started. The best place to start off is on our website, recnorth.ca. You can learn a little bit more, you can explore the training, you can find out about people's experiences with the training, and you can also sign up for more information or to register. So under our training tab, we can tell you about the training itself. This is where you can find a short video about the Recreation North Training Program. And you can learn a little bit more about the different learning events we have and what the schedule of these are. To get started, you're going to go to the Sign Up tab. On this tab, you can decide if you just want a little bit more information, or you can click this link to register. And when you register, we're just asking for a bit of information that includes your name, your email, your community, and what you're interested in taking. So once you get your login, you're going to end up on a login site that is our learning space. Now I've got an example here to show you. So let me just go ahead and log in here. So you'll have a username and also your own password that you can change if you need to. And then when you log in, this is what you're going to see. So I've landed here on my dashboard, and this is sort of an overview of what I have coming up, as well as the courses, and in this case, they're learning events that I'm registered in. If I need to find a calendar, I can open up the calendar and find out what's coming up. I can find out what badges I've earned and see if there's any latest announcements. The other place that's great to start off is to use this home button. So when you click home, what you'll see is an overview of the training program. There's a really great guide right here. It's laid out like a book. So you click the link and you can see the table of contents is over on this side of the page, on the right-hand side. If you can't see the table of contents, it's possible it's hidden because we have something called these drawers that pop out on either side of the page. So if you see an arrow or lines at one side of the page or another, click it, and that will help you explore the table of contents. This guide is a great way to get to know sort of what the program's about and what we're expecting from you as far as participation. Once you're registered and starting out, you might have a lot of questions about how to use the learning space, especially if you haven't done online learning before. So you could take an introduction to the online learning, or you could click how to use our learning space. You might also hear people talk about our learning space being Moodle, and that's just a name for the program that our learning space is designed in. So how to use our learning space? Let's say that you want to know how to change a photo. What you can do is you can type in the box a name or a word or something that you're looking for help about. And when you click on it, it will bring up all the different things that relate to it. So how to put an image or a photo in your post, how to make a photograph smaller that you're trying to attach, or how to add a photo, or how to make sure it's turned around the right way. So this is a really helpful place for you to go. Again, this is called the, let's just go back to the beginning here. This is how to use our learning space. On the home page, you'll also see the list of all the courses or learning events that we are currently offering, and they're listed by certificate. So these are all the ones that are part of the certificate in Northern Recreation Leadership. And below that are all the ones that are part of a certificate in advanced learning events or the management certificate. Sometimes we deliver custom training, so that would show up under here if you were taking part in that. Now let's say you want to know how to get started. Well, you can click on your first learning event, or maybe you've gone My Courses. You say, oh, I've got a course coming up called RF 101 Recreation Foundations. So you can click on that link And the way it's listed is we have a little bit of an overview or introduction at the top. Then it tells you what's going on in week 1. And then it tells you what's going on in week 2. At the very bottom, we always add an Explore More section. This is just for if you're interested. Sometimes I separate it by depending on what territory or province you're from, or just different interests, things that you might want to read and find out more about. You can see now that I've got 3 bars on one side of my page on the left side and a little arrow on the right. So the arrow on the right opens the calendar. And this calendar will tell me some of the things that are going on. But it also tells me that on Monday, October 13th, this learning event begins. And it lets me know what else is going on and when things are also due. This one over here helps me get around the space. So I can scroll up and down. It's kind of like a built-in table of contents, so I don't have to go up and down the page too far. So if I want to find out quickly what's in week 2, I can just go down here and click on week 2, and it should take me right there. Maybe I have to click on that one right there. Or week 2 right here is the other place. But let's take a look at the whole learning event that I can find right here. So each of our learning events is laid out the same way. It happens over 2 weeks. There are 2 RLAs or required learning activities. And in our core learning events, there's 1 conference call and 1 video to watch. The conference call you have to join at the set time, and the video you can watch whenever you want to. In our advanced learning events, there's more conference calls, and some of them last for 4 weeks instead of 2. The other thing is we know that life happens, so we always give you an extra 2 weeks if you're running a bit late. But we sure appreciate you letting us know if you might be delayed in finishing the learning event. So at the top, you'll find out when does it begin, what's it about. There'll be messages from your trainer, usually me, in this one. So if you click that, you will see the messages. There's also a list of the materials you need, and anytime you see a slightly different color other than black, that means there's a link and you can click on it and get more information. So this welcome message opens up like this, and it gives you information about what's happening in this learning event. The presentation slides are where you'll find most of the content, so those are important too. And this year we've got an extra thing, which is book a time with your trainer. So if you need some extra help, or if you cannot make a conference call and need to reschedule some time with your trainer, you would use this link to book something that works for both of you. So the weeks are laid out with a little bit of an overview and letting you know what you have to do. And there's a hint here. Click each link below for an activity to open it. So I've actually just clicked those before. I'm going to unclick them now. You can see there's an activity 1. I'm supposed to read slides 1 to 11 of the presentation, which I find up here. Do activity 1, which is down here. Watch the video, which will be in here. And then do activity 3, which is an RLA or required learning activity. And to do the RLAs, you're going to click that link. And then you're going to read the instructions. And this one asks you to complete it by the end of the first week. So usually we put them due on a Sunday, but if you get them to me on Monday, that's just fine too. And it just asks you to create a post, and a post is this discussion topic. You don't have to write. You can use other ways of communicating. You can take pictures, you can use audio like I'm doing right now, or you can use words. And so to add a post, what you're going to do is you're going to go add a discussion topic, and you might give it a title. So about me might be the one of this, or maybe you put your name about, and in this case, my username is about Ali. And then I could write something like this, or I could choose that I want to add a picture right here that tells my story. Or I might want to do a little short video, or I could just record audio and have people listen to it. That works great if you're tired of writing and don't feel like putting words together. Once you've done that, if you want to include like a file, maybe you saved something and took a photo of it, you do need to go click Advanced in order to see the box that says drag and drop files to add them. So once you've got that box open, you can add anything from your computer to it. And then when you're all finished, you're going to click Post to Forum. And what happens is it is like an extra message. So you can see now there's 2 in here. These are called posts. And both of them are ones that you can read and learn about each other because it asks you to read each other's posts. So that's the required learning activity for that week. We can go back and you can see week 2 is laid out the same way. Oh, I have to read slides of the presentation. I have to do activity 4. I have to join the conference call on Tuesday, and I have to complete the required learning activity, and I have to share my feedback. That might sound like a lot to keep track of. So you can see there's a little button over here, and you can mark it as done when you're done so you don't forget. If you only have 10 minutes, come in here and do activity number 4, and then mark it as done. Then when you come back in, you know where you are next. To find the information about the conference calls, make sure you click that link and then it opens up and it will tell you how to join using your computer or with your phone and what to do if you can't join the call because it is mandatory. It also lists the times, so make sure that you check those and are familiar with what the times are. And then every time we ask you to do a really short feedback form, this helps us make changes and make sure that the rest of your training works for you. So click the feedback and submit it before you're finished and explore the Explore More. As you go through things, you'll start to gather something called badges. Those might show up here, or you can also look for them under your profile. The other thing, here's your profile right here. If you need to change your email address, you can do it yourself. You can also update sort of maybe where you're living or any information about yourself and so on and so on. Once you have some badges or you've completed learning events, they'll show up in here too. The last thing I'd really like to show you that people find is very important to do is to change how you get messages from the learning space. So every time somebody posts, it's set up to send you an email. And as you can imagine, if you're learning with 15 other people and they all do 2 posts each in 2 weeks, that's 30 emails. So that's kind of a lot. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to go in here and click this down arrow and say, I want to change my preferences. And I want to change my preferences around the forum. And so that's this one over here. And right now, I've chosen to get a maximum of 1 email a day with all the posts that are made. The setting that's actually in there is just a single email per post, which can end up being a lot. So you could choose to change this to complete, where all what people have written or added is added into 1 email, or just a subject, and then you have to log in and go and read it as well. So I like this one because that way I don't miss any information. And don't worry, if there's no posts in a day, you will not get an email. So if you're not sure if you've missed anything, check your forum preferences under your profile or log in and see what's going on in the learning event that you're in. Don't forget to save changes when you do anything like that. And that's a little bit how you can play around with over here. The last thing you'll notice is I've got a number 1 right here with the chat. So this is our messaging drawer. It's just like using text messages, and it should open in just a moment. It's going a little slow on my computer. Let's see if it wants to open if I go home first. There we go. So let's say you want to message me and you want to say, hey, Caroline, I'm running late. Can I share my required learning activity or RLA on Tuesday instead of on Sunday? So you would go here and you would go Caroline, which is my name, and you would look me up, and you can see there's two of me. So one of me is how I manage things, and then the other one is me as a trainer. Doesn't really matter which person you message, but let's pick this one just for fun. And then you're going to write a message, and you're going to say, hello, I can, or whatever it happens to be. And then you click the arrow to send your message, and your message is gone. And what it actually does is it sends me an email, so I know that I have a message waiting for you. Sometimes you'll get some notifications in here too. You can also close this way. And this just says that you've been registered in these different learning events. So that's kind of how this works. You can also find my courses over here. And just remember, if you want to sign up or register, go to the sign up page on our website. And I look forward to meeting you through the training.